Um, okay, so I think we got it. So hello everyone, my name is Ivana and this is our episode 5 in Motivate Community Show. And today we have one very special guest here. Her name is Melissa Ngui, and she will be holding a workshop here in Shanghai on wellness is the new currency of success. So this is something that we can all relate to about success, about wanting to succeed and be better. So let's see what this has to do with wellness, right? And I will just first share a little bit about Melissa, and then she will say in her own words a little bit about herself. So Melissa Ngui is a brand strategist and social entrepreneur with 14 years of brand management and product development experience. She has worked with major international brands such as L'Oreal, Maybelline, Garnier, and she's also very passionate about using her own business to solve some social issues. And she has worked on different projects in Kenya, India, China, USA, helping other people also and spreading her message. Um, Also, she has a lot of, besides having a lot of experience, she has MBA and is now currently, I hope this is correct, but pursuing her diploma in aromatherapy and natural medicine. So, so many accomplishments here, and continuing to grow. And I really like talking with people who are like this. So I'm really looking forward to this. Yes.
Great. Well, thanks so much.
Right. So
Thank
please
you
say
so much for the lovely.
a little bit about you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks again, Ivana. I guess I'm a learner, so I've spent most of my life either getting involved in projects that taught me something new, because I like always to be excited. And I've always been pulled towards projects that they needed, I guess, you to have a little bit of heart, as well as you can bring like your strategic mindset to come up with some kind of solution. So having come from, the corporate background where we're always looking for solutions and I'm marketing, so we're looking for a solution to get a product either into a new market or launch a new product, and we need to find out what people think. It was nice to switch roles and get involved in projects that dealt with a different type of mindset. So the projects I did in Mumbai, India, for example, I worked with women there, and they were all beautiful ladies, but they were living in harsh conditions. So their concerns were very much more financial related and survival related. And it was just really nice to see, even working in those types of communities, people are still people, right? You can still form connections. You can still relate to them on certain things like health issues, for example, family issues. So it was good to be able to work on projects that touched a completely different segment, but I was still able to use like my corporate skills to try to come up with solutions there, and of course learn new cultures. And that entire, let's say, period of my life where I was traveling and getting to work on these projects, it opened my mind to so many things. And it was one of the key reasons why I decided not to go back to corporate and to pursue this thing called social entrepreneurship, which is the idea that we can create businesses that empower poorer segments of, society to earn income for themselves. and to help them lift themselves out of poverty using, traditional business tools.
Wow.
And I thought it was really exciting. Yeah.
Wow, great. So I think many people want to move from corporate, from their jobs, and really, have their own freedom, have their own business, and help other people as well. And I feel like you are a great example of doing this, and happy to talk with you. So we are having pleasure to have you on the workshop, and the last workshop of the year, like let's say cherry on the top. So you will be closing this year with a great topic that connects success and health and wellness. So can you share a little bit more about your workshop?
Sure. So this workshop, I call it wellness should be the new currency of success, and it comes from a personal place as well as what I've seen in my travels, and then living in Shanghai, in this very fast-paced metropolitan city where everyone is driven to accomplish success, whatever that means to them, and many of these people have health issues in some way. So this workshop, I would like to, let's call it, shine a light on some things that we in modern society have become so familiar with that it's become symbols of success. So I cannot tell you how often I have a conversation with someone and the first topic is, well, how much money do you make, right? Or how is your business doing? How much revenue do you make at the end of the year? Are you making a six-figure income? And I'm not, right? Perhaps if I stayed in corporate, I could have. And there's nothing wrong with this, but income is definitely one of those symbols of success. And then the next thing might be perhaps where do you live? What city do you live in? Or, the size of your condo or your house or your... These are all like the typical ones. Now it's how often do you travel, right? Are you able to travel? Have you seen the world? How many countries have you been to? Let's look at your passport and compare stamps.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, and I can list many other things which, have sort of pegged us into a little box of these are the things that we have to accumulate over our lifetime to be a success. And what I found fascinating was when I looked at, let's say, the GDP or the income levels of really fast-paced societies like New York, Shanghai, London, Singapore, these cities that, by their very nature, are very fast, right? Because the trends in technology, society as a whole, they move quickly.
Right.
What happened when I looked at that and then I compared that to some of the communities I had worked in, even in China, like I had spent some time in Hunan working on a project for farmers in a very poor village. Mumbai, again, when I worked on a project remotely in Kenya. They have very different lifestyles, but still at the end of it, the common thing that I found between them were people in underdeveloped or developing communities compared to people in fast-paced advanced economies, let's call it that. We're still suffering with the same health issues, right? Nutrition is like the main thing. Many of us walk around with unhealthy gut, and the gut is so important to our immune system and the healthy functioning of all our other organs. And I thought it fascinating because intuition, what I mean to say here is we can use intuition to think, okay, underdeveloped society may have health issues because of financial reasons, right? They cannot afford, or perhaps infrastructural reasons. There are no proper facilities, right? to help and to service people to into a state
Right.
of good health.
Maybe don't have opportunity, right?
Yeah, but you think about the advanced society having the luxury of proper infrastructure, advanced technology, advancements in modern medicine, and yet still the number one stressor at the end of the day is, well, I said nutrition, but also stress, right? Or inflammation, which means that your body, the cells in your body are breaking down and they're not strong, and it leads to other issues in the body, right?
Right.
So
Wow.
what I wanted to show with this workshop was in our box of things that we've called success symbols, our brand image, our income, where we live, the opportunities to travel and live a very lavish lifestyle. We have forgotten wellness is an integral part of that box, because without it, all the other things may or may not be possible, right?
Wow.
And I countless cases of, traditionally successful people in terms of what they've accomplished in their careers, right? A career success, who are ill. And now the rest of their lives, they have to either try to undo what's been done to their bodies, or cannot live in the same way that they used to, because their health has left them in a state of disrepair, right? So the goal of the workshop is to help us in advanced society see that there are other things that are just as important as those symbols, and we need to be more conscious about how we live our lives, the toxins that are constantly around us. And toxins can be environmental, so what's in our air, what's in our water, what's in our food, but also in the thoughts, the mindset, and the way that we treat ourselves when we're going after our goals. So it's really one of those sessions when I first experienced that, having to map out my life and really do a 360 look at all facets of my life.
Right.
I was actually healthy, right?
Yeah, but I think it's better to realize this earlier than later, right? Like when things already go too far, and then it is difficult to balance yourself that easily, because okay, a little bit of stress, but if you go years and years and decades in the same way of living, right, then it accumulates. And actually, I was just reading some article that more and more people, when they retire, they cannot, there is like few months or like a year that a lot of them die, because they accumulated so much stress in their life that when they reach retirement, they are already like half dead. I mean, it's such a huge issue today that people so much overwork themselves. They do not think about wellness, about like what you were just saying. They don't think about what is really important to them, but maybe what other people are saying is important, like prestige, because this doesn't have to be your value, right? I so connected when you said, I do not earn that much money, like 6 7 figures, but I am happy because this doesn't have to be my value, right? My value may be being happy, sharing with my family, being able to do things that make me happy. So I completely like resonated with what you were saying.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And again, it's just meant for people to be a little bit more conscious of their lives so that they can do minor things in their day. Because I will be providing, simple tips and tools and a framework that we can all use to assess and track our progress. So it's more of, don't give up on the symbols that are important to you, whatever those symbols are. Those are respectfully yours. But it is to add another element in there so that when you are on your pursuit of what is, important to you, what are your goals currently, that you do it in a way that your lifestyle actually supports a body that is in balance. And when you're stressed, you're out of balance. And whenever the body is out of balance, this is when we create a home for all sorts of things that can break us down. Catching the common flu, stress, constant stress. I mean, I hate to talk about cancer, but the number one cause of cancer today is stress and inflammation, right?
Wow.
So it's something that we really need to think long and hard about, because there are so many things we can do to prevent that.
Right, and I think
within our reach. A healthy body and a healthy life is within our reach if we know what to look for.
yeah, so happy to have you here to share more about this, because I feel like no matter what are our values, we all want to be healthy, right? We all want to be feeling energized and good in our bodies. So I think this is like one like step that nobody would say is not important for them, because it's like building block of everything else we want in life. So I'm just happy so much to talk with you, but this is like a short interview. So what do you think like would be something you would like to share as the closing thought, something you would like people to know before, you know, they're maybe thinking whether to join workshop, whether not, or you want just one thought that would like let's say make an impact, or you think it's important?
There's so many, but the underlying thing here is most of us are aware that good nutrition is important. So diet, then exercise. I would like to stress on tips that we can reduce stress. So getting more rest is difficult for many of us who are type A or just natural achievers. When we're going after our goals, it's easy for us to skip sleep or skip out on things that slow us down. So I would like to share a few tips and tools that you can use to promote better states of rest in the body. It's actually a functional thing that you can do for yourself. And I will teach that in the class. And then I would also like people to be aware of the toxins around them, because this is the second part of reducing a stressful environment. It is to reduce the toxic load. And this is something most of us don't really think about. And there are ways for us to reduce toxic loads in our bodies. And it's simply by looking at the environments we're in, right? So if the air quality is bad, there are things that we can use to clean the air. And these are all, I come from a very natural solution approach to wellness now, simply because going back to nature is just the best way to go forward, in my opinion, anyway. So it's tools for reducing stress in your body, and it's also, I would say, a bit of a map so that you can check off the things in your life that are negatively impacting on you. And we call those toxins, right? It could be people, it could be things in our physical environment. It could be the products and the foods that we're consuming. And I will share solutions on how to gently detox every day, right? So it does not matter what your lifestyle is. We can all implement these tips and tools in our day-to-day lives to get us closer to a better state of health, let's say. Because health is a journey. It's not a destination, right? It's an everyday maintenance of this one goal, which is health.
Love this what you said, that it is a journey, not a destination, because I feel like when we are thinking what we want to do, we may think like, as I retire, I will play with my kids, with my grandchildren, whatever. But then, as I said, you know, you never really come to that point that you are playing with them, or resting, or I will rest later during the weekend, but then something comes during the weekend and again you are not resting, right? So I think we are all guilty at some point of doing this, but providing some tools and techniques, to think better about ourselves and on our journey, taking steps, better steps for ourselves, I think is very, very important. So thank you, Melissa, for being our guest today. And we are looking forward to your workshop. Um, so bye for now.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye bye.
Bye.